guys, we're back and we're here to give you your weekly dose of us. For our new listeners, welcome to our podcast, Strobel's Favorite Students. My name is Emily and with me is Swad.
Hey guys, before we start, I just want to address my voice. I am losing my voice a bit, but I'm going to pull through for today's podcast. Before we start today's episode, we would like to introduce our sponsor for today's podcast.
Yes, today's sponsor is the country of Ghana. They have asked us to give an overview of the country to bring in more tourists. However, there is a disclaimer.
That's right. Ghana may not be very happy with us after today's podcast, but they already signed the contract and cannot take their money back.
Now let's get back on track.
Today, Ghana will be our topic of discussion. Ghana has a fairly rich history and amazing culture. I really didn't know much about Ghana until we started researching it. And Emily, will you give us some interesting facts?
Yes, we'll begin during the colonial times. At some point, Ghana was a part of Great Britain's colonies. Ghana was the first African country to gain its independence, which they gained on March 6, 1957. Ghana's name originated in the late Ghana Empire in Mali, and the word Ghana means warrior king.
Oh, that's really cool. They must have really set the stage for other colonies in getting their independence too. Ghana today has a lot of cool factors as well, such as containing the largest artificial lake, which is about 3.6% of Ghana's geographical area. Ghana also happens to be the largest producer of gold and 10th largest exporter of gold in the world. And they are the second largest producer of cacao, which is like what's in chocolate. Can you tell us what type of government Ghana is?
Yes, Ghana's government is a constitutional democracy. So that basically means their government is controlled by the majority of people with limits by the law and institutions so that individuals and minorities' rights are protected. Their government is made up of the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch, and their country is run by the president, Nana Akufo-Addo.
Okay, now moving on to their economy. Ghana has a really low GDP per capita, and it's one of the lowest globally. So basically, this means they don't have a good growth rate and have a low standard of living. But surprisingly, Ghana's Gini coefficient is pretty average, around 0.43 to 0.48. Ghana's Gini coefficient is actually not that far from the United States Gini coefficient at around 0.37 to 0.42. Which basically means that people living in the United States are typically wealthier than the people living in Ghana. A Gini coefficient of 0 is basically perfect equality, while a Gini coefficient of 1 is perfect inequality.
Yeah, although Ghana's economy is very low, their Gini coefficient still allows them to meet some of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. However, they are not very open-minded, making them fall short on the other articles from the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Yeah, first it seemed like they were a really free country, considering their education rate is growing. They are putting in a lot of effort in making education free, and by law, women and men are pretty much equal. But after doing some more research, we found out that they did not meet multiple articles from the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It turns out that they are anti-LGBTI and are even trying to pass a law that establishes a system of state-sponsored discrimination and violence against the LGBTI community.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I found out that they were trying to pass that law. Even experts from the Human Rights Council are trying to impede them from passing that law. If they pass that law, then that would violate many of the articles from the UN Declaration of Human Rights.
So far, we have seen that by passing this law, it would violate 7 of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights that we looked at. The articles being violated are Articles 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, and 18. For example, in Article 5, it states that no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, which is not what that law promotes that is trying to be passed.
Yeah, in the article Ghana Anti-LGBTI Draft Bill, A Recipe for Violence, UN experts, it is explained that that law will not only criminalize LGBTI people, but anyone who supports their human rights, shows sympathy to them, or is even remotely associated with them. This basically tells us that passing this law would definitely be against human rights.
So now we're kind of at the part where Ghana might not be too happy with our comments, but I do have to ask you, after all we've learned about Ghana, what would you rate them from 1 to 10?
Well, to be completely honest, I would rate Ghana a 4 out of 10.
I would have to agree with you on that. I'd most likely give Ghana a 4 too, because I really thought they were more modern and free, but they're not completely there yet.
Yeah, overall they violated many more articles than they meant, which is why we get them such a low score.
But outside of the articles, would you ever want to visit Ghana?
Yeah, I think I would. They have a lot of interesting
attractions.
And their food there looks great too.
I personally really want to try the food. The dish I want to try is called fufu.
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn how to make it, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. Maybe I'll just have to visit and see how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it for our discussion. We'll see you in our next podcast. Bye.